Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're going to be talking about Forsaken characters, and we're going to be putting them on a tier list. Now, I'm sorry I've been out for a bit. I've been like focusing on myself, doing my shit, and it's been a month, but I don't care. We're just going to get straight to the video though, and we're going to start off with the survivors. So first of all, I want to talk about Elliot. Elliot is very, very decent in my opinion, but the problem is most of the survivors are decent. So you can't really just say that to justify his placement. And I want to talk about the fact that they nerfed the shit out of Rush Hour and they made the pizza throw worse as well. So he's me an A tier for me, but now with that, he just kind of lowers himself down to C tier for me. There's not really much about him that's cool, and he has 80 health as well, so that bumps him down to like low C tier for me. He's just way too easy to kill. You could get one slash and then a fucking gashing wound and they'll just take out Elliot, so you know, why bother playing him sometimes. Now we have Noob. Noob is a very versatile character. I'd say there's nothing crazy good about him, but there's no disadvantages to him either. The buff that just made him have every one of his items, like every 40 to 50 seconds, is a very worth it buff. He just makes him like more of a versatile character instead of being last man standing material, and then they'll just target you before last man standing. So now he's just an overall threat, and I would put him at mid A tier. Shedletsky's next because, you know, beginner character. I'd say Shedletsky is like the most B tier of all time. You get good healing, you can heal yourself. You have a slash. The slash is a little dingy at times, so you could just get punished by 3 to 4 of the casts. So there's not really anything too crazy to him, but there's not anything too good about him either. Now we have 007. 007 is a amazing survivalist. I'd say above Noob, but the problem is he has nothing other than that. But that doesn't justify the fact that he could just win any LMS if he just tried. And it doesn't matter that he has a 1 minute 30 LMS with Coolkid. He directly counters Coolkid, so it doesn't matter. I'd say he's top of A tier. Now we have Gas. Gas got a very, very good buff recently. I'd say that it made him a lot better of a character. He used to be around low B to C tier for me, but it shot him up to A tier. A lot of the survivors and like everyone will just go in A tier because this game's not too unbalanced, I'd say. I'd say he goes low A because he's very situational in my personal opinion. If the killer's good, you just fucking die, so why bother? Now we have TwoTime. TwoTime is another flat B for me. He got nerfed recently, pretty hard at that. He used to be top of A, but he's top of B now in my opinion. There's nothing too crazy about him. You get the second life, but if they just go for you at the beginning of the round, you're just kind of fucked, so it didn't matter. Now we have Taph. Taph is the first S tier. He used to be top of A tier for me because I see the potential in Taph, and the fact that I have everyone at level 100, I am able to see that potential. Taph got a good buff, making him go from 90 to 100 health. That doesn't sound too crazy, but you get a lot more versatile situations where you'll get one more extra hit in before you actually have to kill the Taph, and that could be do or die with the fact that subspace and tripwires are very fucking annoying. So I'd say Taph is an S tier. Now we have Builderman. These are like gonna go hand in hand here. I'd say Builderman is better than Taph though. Builderman is a fucking threat. If you know your sentry positions, if you know your dispenser positions, if you know how to run, you are not gonna die. If you know how to play Builderman, I honestly struggle the most with Builderman out of everyone in the cast. He is so fucking annoying. And I don't know how to explain other than the fact that if you go for the sentry, that's a 4-second loss, and that 4 seconds they can regain all that stamina back. You are just kind of fucked from there. They could just keep running, and then you get distracted and it's another sentry. Oh my god, it's annoying. Dussekkar's first D tier. Now, I'd say D tier, but he's not too bad at that. Dusekkar is a very situational character as well. If your teammates are ass, you're gonna fucking die. If your teammates are good, you can still fucking die. It doesn't matter. But at least with good teammates, you'll, you know, not get charged into. They want to give you like a big hug for protecting them, you know, like a very big hug of death. So at least you don't have that when they're good teammates. But just because I'm putting them in D tier doesn't mean that they're like necessarily horrendous at that. they're generally a pretty solid and fleshed out character, and they're good for money farming if you're into that. But I don't see like the point of playing them over like every other character here. Now we have Chance. Chance is honestly in a tier of his own, I'd say. There's nothing like crazy good about him, but not crazy bad either. Mainly because he's RNG based. RNG based characters are usually like just a mid character out of the whole cast, I'd say, on average, because you never know if you're gonna do good or bad with them. But the problem is that Chance has a very heavy good advantage state, so when you're usually in advantage state for most of the round, a justification could be put for A tier, but I'd say he's borderline A. I'd say Chance tier is borderline A. Now we have all the killers. We could start with Jason. Jason is like, I'd say he's honestly kind of fucking broken. We're gonna make a new tier. This is just SS. It's like, yeah. Jason is SS tier. You know why? There is no disadvantage. No disadvantage state with this man. Raging Pace gets you out of advantage state immediately. You have an extreme advantage state. One hit and you're gonna fucking kill them realistically, as long as you can just chase them for like 10 to 30 seconds on average. I never see myself losing as Jason. I've had 108 killer losses, and that's just scaled from 500 to 700 now. So I haven't lost a Jason round in nearly 200 matches. So that should say something. This is my main, and it will stay that way for a long time. Now we have John Doe. Now John Doe would have had an S tier spot. They really fucked my boy. He is now a B tier. You know why? Because they got rid of his fucking... I forgot the ability, but it's the one that makes him have a 2.1 second stun. And now you have a variability of stuns, but the only stun that's low is gets stun if you don't parry. So you just lost your only advantage. So wham wham, you're back in B tier, bud. And now we have Coolkid. Coolkid got a pretty like substantial nerf in his walk speed overdrive, but it's a pretty warranted nerf, and I wouldn't say it killed the character completely. I'd say he's gonna go in lower end of A. He's still a solid character. He's still really fucking good. But the problem is, he does have his disadvantages. He doesn't have a way to see you if you're a survivalist. He doesn't have a way to detect you or anything like that. He has to just run and hope for the best. And with his abilities, he has a pretty all-around like balanced kit. I wouldn't say he's like a quintessential broken character like S and S plus, but he's there. Play him if you want. 1X I'd say is the top of A. He does have a pretty fluent disadvantage state, but that doesn't make up for the fact he doesn't have much of an advantage either if you're good at the game. 1X is a very hard character to play, and if you don't know how to play him, he'll be like in D tier for you, but I'd say he's A plus just because of the fact that his abilities carry him pretty fucking well. You have the entanglement, which is like a guaranteed 30 damage as long as you're not fucking idiotic. Actually 38 if you got the poison. You have the mass infection, you could accidentally hit someone, just ruin their life. And you have like the minions. The minions are especially annoying during LMS. And you have corrupt eye or whatever it is, bro. I forgot what it is, but you can just see everyone in the map, which is the problem that Coolkid really suffers from. Jason not too much because Raging Pace will just detect the person. You could just do that every kill and it isn't too bad from there. That's the tier list. If there was anyone I were to change up, I'd say that Shedletsky is honestly better than the TwoTime at the moment. And I guess Coolkid is worse than Gas. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you later.